Hey yo, little man, what's going on here? Nick here from Little Man YGO, back at again with another video, and this time we have another Amaryllis related video, and it's not just any Amaryllis related video. We're talking about the most contentious topic within the community itself, volcanic counter. So before we jump into why we think volcanic counter is either good or bad, we got to go over to the channel, right? We are at 271 subscribers. Thank you so much for all the love and support that you've been giving to the channel so far. We just give a massive giveaway for 250 subscribers. Allowing us to get out three Amaryllises, the three lucky winners, creating three more Amaryllis duelists while them being a bit on a budget. So always helpful to help out the community there. Please subscribe to the channel at this moment. If you've not done so already, I'll wait. All right, so you should have been subscribed together. Okay, let's hop right in. So, volcanic counter within itself. For those of you who are living under a rock or have this is their first Amaryllis video that they're seeing, volcanic counter. What this card does is whenever you take battle damage while this card's in the graveyard, banish it from the graveyard. Then, if there is a fire monster other than volcanic counter in your graveyard, inflict damage to your opponent equal to the amount of damage that you took. It's a mandatory effect. It's kind of like a dimensional wall kind of deal, except you're able to do so aggressively as well. So one of the cool things, at least alongside with a list like this, is some of the technology that's changed to help. I'm kind of going on the lighter side of volcanic counter. I have been really surprised on how this card has been testing over the last couple of last 2 weeks or so, which is crazy because when I initially started playing the deck, I was playing the Carpath lists like everyone starts out to be. Then after that, I noticed that these cards are just not doing anything. Like they were just either sitting in my hand, or you draw too many of them, or you didn't mill them at the right time, or they attacked you with a Treeborn Frog, and you're like, holy shit, why do I even play this fucking card? So I ended up taking those cards out of my deck in favor of what would be like Bot Lion and or Poison and other aggressive monsters within the deck, right? However, with the new technology that we're playing around with, we're going to see a couple of replays where we try stuff with Lila, Threatening Roar. Threatening Roar is an insane card in Amaryllis. Insane. I can't believe it took me this long to figure out that this card is actually freaking amazing in this deck, right? But at least with Threatening Roar, we're able to at least control what attacks that we do take. So when we have our weenie monsters and they have their big monsters and we have a lot of counters, our multipliers looking very, very nice to us at this point, right? Obviously, of course, we're able to play Burial in the main deck also to support the counters, as well the Amaryllises, Necrogarnet Plague coming back into the graveyard. Card Destruction also in the deck. God, I love Card Destruction, but unfortunately, it's just doesn't net you enough value. And I still don't even think that this card is amazing as it is. Brain Control is a burn spell. We had to play the burn spells in the main deck. Lila, and there's also I was trying lists with two roar. So in some of the replays, you might see double roar and then Graveros too. I like the lists with Graveros because you do have an additional plant for your plant count with Amaryllis. It's also a fire for counter, so it helps create that spread of making sure that even the fires in your graveyard, which was one of the things that were not attractive so much about this combo, because you have to be mindful of cluster being in your graveyard versus not. And then also too, it just randomly summons level 3 or lower monsters from the deck to the graveyard. So if it survives Threatening Roar, you can just spin Volcanic Counter and just go party at the wazoo. Side deck is just a standard side deck that for cards that we're playing around here. This is actually Brandon Reiger's side deck, so shout out to Brandon, big fan of the channel, good friend. But yeah, we're gonna definitely talk about Volcanic Counter today. Kind of go over some of the pros and cons. All four of these matches that I tested with this version, I did win. So that's a very important thing to keep in mind as we're going through some of these replays here. We're playing it Scoop Phase, but not like Phase with PH. It's F like a fucking asshole, right? And he's playing the Chaos Plants, like the bad plant deck. Botline, gotta love to see it. But unfortunately, he's playing a bad deck, so or the bad plant deck per se. And we're playing the better plant deck. No, so we get launch fires out for Titania. We don't care about that. He sets some passes. We hit an armory. We mill even more amazing because we got Dandelion back. We just got to set up ourselves for that, putting 2 tokens into the board, and we're just passing our turn with Amaryllis. Nice start. We can't complain about those starts at all. And then he's going to go DD Warrior Lady off the Rhoda, thinking that this is some sort of chaos nonsense, and then he banishes with the Warrior Lady. Who cares? I don't care. So we're not going to make a big fuss about it. And then we set jar and we just set everything and pass. Whether he, and then we DDR, get that back. He summons the Caius and the banishes the face down, and then does not play into Mirror Force like a champion. But you could sense if you set Morphing Jar and I didn't set anything before, then like what's really the point of that, right? We brain control to take the Titanial, and then he's just going to stop and negate that, which is fair because we can just lone fire over and just get insane amount of advantage. Card destruction to chuck the hand and then draw 2 cards, which gives us our card for trading. So now we have counter in the graveyard, which is very important because we can't support that. And that's the other thing here. Like, counter doesn't really do anything when you're in game states like this. You kind of like gotta hope that they just like are not competent. But the Sangan gets attacked. We get the Lone Fire Blossom out of the deck, which is absolutely insane. And then when he passes it back to us by setting the Torrential. But we're going to Wing Blast this Torrential back to the top of the deck, which is nice. We dropped an MST, which is great. We summon the Lone Fire Blossom, send the other Lone Fire out of the deck, get the Titanium onto board. We're going to attack over for 400. We could have marked the roll stole and then start attacking them with it. But I don't think that's something that's going to matter too much there. And he's going to mark and try to take it, which is fine. I think I should have let that go, right? Because he's going to have to run into double Volcanic Counter and then he loses. And we see the third Volcanic Counter. The thing with Volcanic Counter that I want to like touch on is that it's good in multiples, but it's like not good on its own. And you don't want to see multiples because they don't do anything. So you have this like contradiction that you have with this variant as is. He takes the 800 damage and passes. We go to DDR, back the Lone Fire out to Titanial. I believe that he tries to Torrential here, which is fine because we have Volcanic Counter in the graveyard, which is insane. Even if he decides to take the card with Brain Control and attack, he still dies, which is amazing. So he DDRs back the Titanial. I thought he was playing one of my own lists and just playing crappier cards with it, but he's not, which is fine. So we take 800. He's in like Volcanic Counter range for anything small, and then we just summon Card Trooper. We attack, and then we banish all 3 counters out of graveyard, and we win the game, which is cool. We won a game that we shouldn't, but I think we also would want to win the game anyway if those cards were something else. That's the big point that I wanted to take, even though I'm just fucking bussing everybody in this blessing everyone in this replay. It's interesting to see how these things come together. We charge insane mills. We love it. And then we bluff the cards so we could just set the Dandy and put the bottomless face down and then pass our turn. He sacks for Caius, which is fine. He gets DD Warrior Lady. We end up not bottomlessing it, which I think is pretty heads up because we don't kind of care about that. He decides not to attack, which is crazy. Some people are just like not going to do anything, which is like, what? Like, why would, because they don't want to deal to, they're just scared of the counter damage, which is fair enough, right? Then we mill 3. That's cool. Then he goes Twilight Rose Knight into the Bot Lion, and then he goes into the Power Tool Dragon, and there's the Power Tool Dragon Shenanigans. Probably grabbing Mark of the Rose from the deck since it passes. Draw 2. We probably should have Lightning Vortex here, but we didn't because I'm a chotch. I was too confident, too cocky. DD Warrior Lady was really putting in a lot of work for him this game, but that's fine. So then we Volcanic Counter out. We go right into the Catastor. Catastor takes, and then he decides to summon Titania or Tomato. Takes 800 from that. Goes to the Gale, and then that's where he is able to make the 8s. Very cool. So we Foolish for Volcanic Counter, and then we attack with Dandelion, banish all the counters out of the graveyard, and attack for game. So we won another game that we shouldn't have because we had 3 Volcanic Counter stacked in our graveyard within 16 cards. So keep in mind that that was like some next level stackery there. Sorry for the noise there. I know I just blew out some iPhone user's eardrum. And look, we have a handful of Volcanic Counters that don't do anything, but that's okay. So we're playing at zombies. He has a slow start. He doesn't have access to Tuner, which is great. Then we set 2 and we pass because we have no reason not to start setting these counters. Oh my god! And this in this version too, it's like you want to see like card destruction a lot, and then Card Trooper is going to be amazing right there. We probably should have ran over the Mizuki there because why not? But he's doing all the zombie shit. Zombie. Zombies are, I think I put them on the bottom of favorable within my matchup spread video. If you have not watched that video, look back in the channel and you'll see. But zombies are definitely more 50-50 just because of their like ability to just like push out damage and stuff like that. And he boned us, which is fair, you know. What are you gonna do? Comedians come in, love Fiend Comedian. This card's so good. They're gonna attack, so we just lone fire out. We don't care. We're just gonna attack everything. Get some nice damage in. We're all about the damage. Oh man, I love damage. All right, so we send him pass. And then we allure out. He tries to MST, but we negate that because we want to have a little bit more value up the comedian. We call heads, and we call it right, and we just banish the guy's entire graveyard. So get bent, right? Passes the turn, and then we run over for 1,000, and this game is like not looking good for him at all. Goes for Krebons. We attack with everything, which is insane. Like, you can't just leave a Krebons there. And then we set into Armory, and I think we have Volcanic Counter in here. We do not. But we didn't need Volcanic Counter nor Cluster to win this game. He tries to discard Mizuki with Krebons. Imagine if Mizuki was a Dark Monster. Think about that. But we attack very aggressively, and we're able to at least get over. Interesting how he had that set up, but we had Volcanic Counter off the Foolish. We do it again. We just attack. We take 200. We end the game. Very goofy. Very, very goofy. But if that was Amaryllis, then it would have the same effect would have probably applied. But we are winning our games, which is interesting. So he goes Vanity's Fiends turn 1 and is like, what? So we're gonna Lila and just try to go for the back row. So we don't have to worry about MST or whatever, which is nice. Attacks over Lila and then passes. We hit an Armory, get the DDR from the end of the deck, and then we pass our turn. So he tries to go in for 12. We take the 12, and then he takes 12 from Volcanic Counter, which is fine. And then I Wing Blast, putting the Vanity's Fiend back to the top of the deck. He decides to attack one and then passes. He just doesn't tune up, which is nice. So we go and try to make a synchro here. So we go for Goyle Guardian, we hit Mizuki, and we want to grab Mizuki so he can't use it against us. Telekinetic Power Well just revives and then he stacks for Caius. Who cares if he stacks for Caius? Because we're going to stack that thing again, and we're going to swing everything into attack and just attack for game. Cool. Volcanic Counter didn't really do anything there because we took the 1,200, so it would have been game any. No, it wouldn't have. It wouldn't have. Yeah. No, it wouldn't have. So it wouldn't have been game there. So cool. Okay, so it looks like Volcanic Counter played a nice little role in that game too. So it looks like that, like, you know, just for me playing, Volcanic Counter definitely feels better when there's more cards in your deck. So you don't have like the insane high likelihood of drawing them. But like the other crazy thing is that like you kind of need to see them, or you got to open very aggressively and hope you see them later, which is like a weird place to be from a Yu-Gi-Oh perspective. Aubrey, that's a DGDR. Oh man, I worked all day. I'm tired, baby. All right, so we charge for Lila. We have all these equips in our hand. We bricked on them. Who cares? He can't do anything. He's on quick draw. But this guy I've definitely played a few times before. Definitely knows his shit. He's not a bloke by any stretch of the imagination. But go for Armor, attack over. Hit the 800, grab Dandelion. Set the mark because we have no reason not to. And then he Drill Warriors us, and then that's cool. Hopefully we're able to draw a Burial here so we could put this Drill Warrior back in our graveyard. But cool thing here is that we're able to attack over and not really give a hoot. And then we set Morphing Jar and then set the card and pass. Obviously, we don't want to set everything because we don't want to lose to Heavy Storm or Black Rose Dragon or anything like that. And then we set and we flip over the jar and then we just do the thing, which feels so good every single time. And we mark the roads, we take, we're able to get a Volcanic Counter in, we attack with Amaryllis, we just drop him down to solo. He's at 600, Volcanic Counter in the graveyard. The game is over. He can't play through that nonsense at all. And then we go into our next game. So we have Shining Black Seed because I'm playing the Quackimiro Gravarose, and it's an option off that. It's also a good target through Burial. And overall, very solid against, quick draw. So we can't just go right into Drill Warrior without that thing getting owned, right? Which is a nice little check floodgate. I really like Shiny Black Sea in the side deck. Very cool card. There's Graveros. Those are fire in the graveyard that we need. But Hididi Crows back the Amaryllis and passes. There's nothing going on with this guy either. He attacks into Volcanic Counter. I can't believe it did that much damage. A lot more damage than I thought it should be. He solemns, which is nuts. And then we just tribute set the Titanio, and then we put all the dudes back with Burial, and then we attack, and then he takes a bunch of damages, and he loses the game. Crazy. All right. Now was match numero dos. Yeah, I destroyed that guy. Okay, and then match number 3 against Rocket Man. I just blew up someone's eardrum again, which is cool. Again, I think I'm playing with the Graveros list here. He's playing X-Sabers. X-Sabers is not a good matchup for Amaryllis, not at all, not even slightly. But we do have Lone Fire Foolish, which is such a good play. Oh man. And we already have like engine rolling. We're looking good. All that fun stuff. He's playing Upstart Goblins, which is such a god-awful card in this format. Someone's Fullhelm Knight, and I'm like, I don't care about this fucking Yu-Gi-Oh card. I want to just bulldoze him, right? So we set Raikou, pass. We did not want to play into like a Deep Prison because we didn't have a way to get rid of it. But we're able to mill a whole bunch of cards, which is very, very cool. And then we set another Raikou and we pass our turn there. So we're just playing this slowly because we have no reason to play this quickly. And then we charge, get the Lila out of the deck as the last copy. We go for Raikou to clean off the other back row. That has to be Starlight Road. We normal summon Lila to pop the other back row. And we're top decking for Plague. We synchro into Brionic. Brionic will bounce the field to the hand. And then from there, we'll just attack for 25. But we do have 3 Volcanic Counters in Graveyard with Amaryllis, which means that we're just going to do so much damage, and he's going to cry. I love tears. So he goes in 1-for-1 out for the Rakagura. Rakagura is going to get nothing back. Oh, well, he Fullhelm Knights. Makes sense, right? He crashes with that, which is odd. And then this is where he throws. He should have 1000% just ran over the that. I don't know what he was thinking there. And he Brios back his own guy. And then I just summon a monster and I attack for game. And I think this is where he learns that like he loses. But you see how like Volcanic Counter's good in multiples. It's not always going to be that way. I've played this deck long enough to know that like I've done 20, 25 cards deep into my deck and I've not seen Amaryllis. So not much is going to be different here. We open our hand. Our hand is like ass, which is fine. That's just the way it is. He has my body. He's like the sauce in the back row here. Gonna go for Android for the anti-burn damage. It's like he's playing against Chain Burn. Very odd. So he solemns here, which is crazy. The man loves the solemn, but we fire card destruction because why not, right? Puts fire into graveyard. We draw all these nice new cards. We set T-Roar and pass. We'll take the 24. Yeah, we take 24 here. He can't put another synchro down because of Shiny Black Sea in the graveyard. Shiny Black Sea being insane. Pearliana in the chat. Shout out to Pearliana. Very cool person, very cool people. Then we go to Titanio right here, attack over the Android. That's definitely going to not get mirror forced. Why on earth? Why would you do that? Just mirror force, flip the Raikou to a target, and then you have the Book of Moon for the Raikou in case I heavy on the following turn. Come on, people. This isn't hard to play this game. Come on. Deductive reasoning. And we have T-Roid being awesome. Card's insane. So we draw for turn, and we're gonna try to come back. We make this comeback here. But we noticed that this is a list where I forgot to put 3 Titanials in. Boys, always play 3 Titanials in your Amaryllis deck. The card is so good. And I just was not thinking. Well, that's okay. We draw a Lightning Vortex, and we're just gonna go slurp up the board, but he's gonna flip my body as a shield. And I don't give a rat's ass about that card. I forgot to give myself dandy tokens. I haven't been doing this for myself. Yeah. What? Damn, I'm stupid. That's okay. We set him pass, and then he's just going to 3 full trolls. Absurd. But he attacks in. He takes 1,600 from Volcanic Counter, goes to 3,000. We're gonna see if we could do it here, boys. We draw Volcanic Counter, which is crazy. So we hit an armory. We get the Mark of the Rose, right? We activate Mark of the Rose. We're taking the Android. Android is bullying over for 800. And then we're going to gain 600 on our end phase. And then he's going to pass and draw. His Forgotham's This, I mean, like, he just drew so bad this game. Holy smokes. It's like the triple titanial hands that I draw. Like and subscribe if you had those triple titanial hands. Android is giving us a whole ton of life, so we can maximize our volcanic counters, which is cool. And then there goes volcanic counter into the graveyard. Like, there's no way, right? Like, party time. All right, so he's, we're gonna attack over here. We're gonna go over for. He just books the dude for some reason. He shouldn't book. I'm like, what in God's earth is in this guy's hand? He's triple Fultron in this hand, and no way. He's just not letting damage happen. I think that's neg. Did he just mind control? Yo, some of these opponents on DB, it doesn't matter how high their rating is. They just have no idea what they're doing. I don't know what's up. Maybe I'm just like stupid. I don't know. Something like that. So he's checked on their he's checked on their counter, which is insane. We were bricking a little bit here. We end up winning the game because he shows me his hand. And he's like, and I'm like, oh God, sorry, buddy, sorry. But yeah, that's kind of the volcanic counter of the session that I wanted to do in this episode of Perfecting Amaryllis. But hopefully all of you guys enjoyed this video. Hopefully all of you guys decided discussion. I definitely think that Threatening Roar with a volcanic counter feels a little bit more favorable within us. The card could definitely win you out of nowhere, but it's almost worth sometimes thinking about whether, because volcanic counter is such a passive card, while having the more aggressive monsters will do exactly the same thing. But that's up for you guys to decide. I really enjoyed playing the list over the last couple of days or last week with volcanic counters. Obviously, it frees up some side deck room for some additional nonsense there. So that's all I have for you guys today. But please like, comment, and subscribe for some more Amaryllis, Yu-Gi-Oh! And the retro Yu-Gi-Oh! And pack openings and giving away more Amaryllises. And we'll see you guys later on. Peace. Have a great day.